everyone for coming. So my name is Costella Copeland-Smith, and I'm the chairman of the Human Relations Commission, and this is our second Juneteenth celebration event. Woo! So thank you all so much for coming in. I would like to thank our sponsors, the American Rescue Funds. I'd also like to thank First Church in Windsor, the Hartford Foundation, and the Town of Windsor. Finally, I'd like to thank the Art Center for this beautiful venue, for the curation of this amazing art. So if you get a chance, feel free to look at the artwork, get some food in the back, and enjoy yourselves. We are also dedicating today to our former chairman, Judge Kevin Washington. For those of you who knew him, he's right behind us here in the picture as well. He really brought Juneteenth to life in Windsor. He instilled a sense of hope, of action, of doing more and better for our community. So we are dedicating this Juneteenth in honor of him since he unexpectedly passed away. So more words will be said on that a bit later. But welcome and thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming. So my name is Trey. I am the chairman of curatorial for the Windsor Arts Center. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. It's hard to believe that Judge Washington is not with us today, that it's to his memory that today's spoken word event is dedicated. He should be standing here with us, welcoming you to this fun and poignant event. He was a driving force for justice, compassion, and human understanding and inspiration to so many people. He was already deep into planning for this year's Juneteenth celebration when he suddenly passed away shortly after returning from serving as humanitarian ambassador in support of those affected by earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. So we welcome you in his stead, banking on his spirit being with us today as we both remember him and celebrate and commemorate Juneteenth. And I would like to bring to the stage Ms. Versatile. Just real quick, as an introduction, Versatile was born in Hartford. She was raised she was born in Hartford, and she lived and raised in Simsbury for 9 years, as well as 10 years in Avon. She played basketball throughout high school with aspirations for playing college. She then graduated from Avon High School in 2005. In the fall of 2005, she attended the University of Hartford as a marketing major, where she put away her basketball sneakers and picked up a pen to become a poet. She graduated from UHart with a business administration degree in May of 2009. She's been performing spoken word for about 15 years, as well as teaching spoken word for 12. She currently works for Charter Oak Center and Arts for Learning, and I'd like to welcome her to the stage.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my show. When I say versatile, you say poetic. Versatile. Poetic. Versatile. Poetic. Versatile. Poetic. My name is Versatile Poetic. I'm honored to be your MC. I am a snapper because I am a poet. Does anyone know the history of snapping? Of why we snap in poetry? Okay, so you're going to learn something new today. I think it's very important to learn something new every day. That's what I tell young people, okay? The Beatniks, 1950s New York City, they were a poetry reading group, and they held poetry readings in the basement of an apartment complex, and they would snap because clapping was too loud, and they didn't want to disturb their neighbors, okay? And when you snap, you can hold your water, or in my case, microphone, in your hands. So that is the history of snapping, okay? So I am a snapper, I am not a clapper. Another question for the group. Does anyone know what a community poem is?
Yes.
What is it, may I ask?
Somebody starts it, a line or two, I guess, and then it's passed along for everybody to add to it.
Yes.
And it gets ready.
You get to snap. Excellent. So I always like to create what you call a community poem because they're the best poems in the world because everyone is involved, okay? So today, our writing prompt, art is, okay? Think about what art is to you. What does it mean to you and perhaps others? And if you need some ideas, there's a whole lot of art around in this room, okay? So 1 to 2 sentences, you pass it to the next person. The key is to read the most recent sentence or two on the page and respond to it so it gives it a flow. If you can't respond to it, that's okay. Just try to stick to what art is to you. Fair enough? We'll read it at the end. I can read it, or maybe I'll have one of you read it. Which bold, brave, lucky person, thank you, would like to kick it off? Okay. So is it okay to perform a poem for you? I guess that's fitting.
Please do.
Sure. This poem is my signature poem. It's called Me. Some of you in this room have heard it quite a few times, but I do see some new faces. So those of you who have not heard it, I hope you learned something about me, but I also hope that you learned something about yourselves. To even try to depict me, do me a favor, grab a Dutch with flavor. I'll break up the words and roll the knowledge. Now you pull the intellect. Wait, hold it. Feel the simulation and blow the poetry. Now that you've inhaled this poetic high, let's give it a try. What do you wonder when you see a woman living not by what's supposed to be 5'8", long hair, thick thighs, little booty, and brown skin, lay under the blankets of materialism that covers my exterior and traps my interior? I'm a foreign lesson unknown to you, so approach me with caution. My mind is dense and heart a beating nightmare. Athletic, ambitious, and outgoing are traits that don't create me. I'm a fiend for pulling a trigger and blowing away ignorance. I despise the fools that label themselves because society said so. Don't define me because definitions are best friend to Webster. And don't try to look for the 411 because Wikipedia won't tell you the full truth. My swag busts through like a good and leaves them thinking, what? My attitude doesn't reflect what they thought, but what they see in me. I'm a rebel to the rules and a conformist to the abnormal. You see, most eyes that are set upon me see an image of a male. Why? They say men wear this and women wear that. Claim to who? Well, I wear those and these, so I am this and that together. My uniqueness is fed as different, but swallowed as judgment. And I have a personality that isn't personable, I must confess. An emotion you could never configure. It's no advertisement. You see, women snicker when I pass by because they're intrigued by my mystery and trapped by the closet. Men beam when I walk by, showing the lip because they think I got between their women's split. Because if my clothes were off, those men would hit. Now let's penetrate a little deeper. You roll the knowledge this time. People like me get killed for their existence. And when I die, I'm going out smiling, knowing I was me. You see, many wear masks because they're horrified by who they really are. Now please wash down what I said with a glass of scent, because we gotta make it common to the people so they understand my sexuality and my preferences. Only my resource. What is me? Poetry is me. Music is me. A white rose is me. Genesis is me. Darfur is me. 4 little girls in Alabama is me. Matthew Shepard is me. Troy Davis is me. Trayvon Martin is me. Mike Brown is me. Eric Garner is me. Alton Sterling is me. Tamir Rice is me. Sandra Bland is me. Breonna Taylor is me. Ahmaud Arbery is me. George Floyd is me. Tyree Nichols is me. Anybody brutalized by the police that didn't make the national news is me. Black Lives Matter is me. Sandy Hook Elementary School is me. Pulse Nightclub is me. New Parkland, Florida is me. Las Vegas, Nevada is me. Charleston, South Carolina is me. Top Supermarket is me. Robb Elementary School is me. The Windsor Art Center is me. The Honorable Judge Kevin Washington is me. Juneteenth is me. Love is me, pain is me, war is me, terror is me. The woman in New York City that holds the torch is me. Discover something, oh, it is seen, it is felt, it's known, and it's lived. Who am I? You all are me. Thank you very much. Come on down, Trey, first on that list. And I apologize ahead of time if I slaughter your name, but I'll do my best to read them and pronounce them properly. Also, real quick, if anyone, I heard some of you might have music and need Bluetooth. I do have a boombox over here, and we can work with your phone into Bluetooth with the boombox. Fair enough. Okay, here you go, Trey.
Thank you. Can we get another round of applause for Ms. Versatile? All right, so I have a poem for you. This is a poem by Robert Hayden, known as Frederick Douglass. When it is finally ours, this freedom, this liberty, this beautiful and terrible thing, needful to man as air, usable as earth, when it belongs at last to all, when it is truly instinct, brain matter, dusitol, systole, reflex action, when it is finally one, when it is more than the gaudy mumbo-jumbo of politicians. This man, this Douglass, this former slave, this Negro beaten to his knees, exiled, visioning a world where none is lonely, none hunted, alien. This man, superb in love and logic, this man shall be remembered. Oh, not with statues' rhetoric, not with legends and poems and wreaths and bronze alone, but with the lives grown of his life, the lives fleshing his dream of the beautiful, needful thing. Thank you.
Give it up for Trey Brooks. Thank you. And if you can't snap, because not everyone can snap, you can rub your fingers together. There we go. Next up, Cassie, please. Come across the line.
Hello again. So I'm going to read one of Judge's favorite poems. It's called Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou, and it's a great poem, and it really inspired him to create the Phenomenal Woman Award to honor women within Windsor. So here we go. Pretty woman wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size, but when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man, the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist and the joy in my feet. I'm a woman phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see me. I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breasts, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say, it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need of my care, 'cause I'm a woman phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. So that's that one. All right. And then I have one short one before I go. And I made this in honor of Judge, because I had a hard time, I had writer's block, because that happens as an artist. So I decided to do a string of haikus, and this is for Judge. 8 years, one vision, a table for you and me, opportunity. 2 groups together, an all hands on deck event, importunity. Laughter, smiles, and warmth. You light up the room with joy, expansivity. Dreams shared in action, an impact made on many, coefficiency. Mentor forever, your legacy lives on here in community.
Beautiful, Cassie. There were some snaps. Next up, Jody Deno. Please come on down. And folks, I will say, it is not easy to stand up in front of people and talk. Public speaking is the biggest fear that people tend to have. So kudos to anyone that comes up here to share, okay?
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Welcome, and thank you for having us today at the beautiful Windsor Arts Center and this gorgeous display that is here with everybody at the Arts Center till, I think it's June 24th, so, and that's quite a lot to follow, so I'm honored to be here and to read another one of the judge's favorite poems. This one is by Amanda Gorman called Hymn for the Hurting. Everything hurts, our hearts shadowed and strange, minds made muddied and mute. We carry tragedy, terrifying and true, and yet none of it is new. We knew it as home, as horror, as heritage. Even our children cannot be children, cannot be. Everything hurts. It's a hard time to be alive, and even harder to stay that way. We're burdened to live out these days, while at the same time blessed to outlive them. This alarm is how we know we must be altered, that we must differ or die, that we must triumph or try. Thus, while hate cannot be terminated, it can be transformed into a love that lets us live.
Thank you. Give Jody some snaps. When I say chemistry the mad, you say scientist. Chemistry the mad. Scientist. Chemistry the mad. Scientist. Chemistry the mad. Scientist. Chemistry the mad scientist. Come on down and show up for these beautiful people.
How y'all doing today? Good. How y'all doing today? Good. My name is Chemistry the Mad Scientist, and I am the CEO of We Rise Network. I need some energy in the room. You got a little chant for my company, and we're gonna learn it today. I rise, you rise, we rise together.
I rise, you rise, we rise together.
Ooh, okay, I feel it. I rise, you rise, we rise together.
I rise, you rise, we rise together.
Love it. So my name is Chemistry the Mad Scientist. I do photography, I dance, I write poetry, scripts, music, act, I do directing, I used to sing. I do a lot, event planning, I do a lot. Graphic designing. So my secret, what the world identify as is, want to hear it?
Yes.
Bipolar disorder. Ooh. Yes. So I'm an advocate for mental health. So I worked in I worked in healthcare for 4 years, and that's how I learned how to identify these symptoms, and then I could channel it into art. So it took me a minute to learn how to write again, learn how to feel myself properly, learn how to identify who I am. So, this spoken word is called Finding Chemistry. You don't even know who you are, that your name was written to be among the shooting stars. I am the reason, the gift, the purpose that is sung in tunes. My presence and echoes beyond what they know and beyond what they assume. Do you want to know why I'm such a mystery? Because I did it. I survived. I went through that journey. You don't even know who you are, that your name was written to be among the shooting stars. It took me a while, but finally I recognized what I need to be free, which was meant for you and me. Don't get me wrong, for a bit I wasn't found, because I truly never understood how to listen to my own sound. You don't even know who you are, that your name was written to me among the shooting stars. I caved in, because I never knew my own power, so I left your world to spend 10K on the hour. Perfect I became, after all them struggles. Now I finally get to see me again, and I realize, now there's gonna be some trouble. You don't even know who you are, that your name was written to be among the shooting stars. Watch out, world, don't you see? I finally realized what is my destiny. I now understand why these dreams are meant to be, because they're all designed for me. Do you know who you are? Yes, I am chemistry the mad scientist. And if you should forget, look up, because I'm a shooting star. I ain't gonna curse. There's some kids in the back. There's some kids in the back, all right? So, I'm about to dance for y'all today. You know, today is, well, spoken word. You know, I'm sure y'all don't mind some dancing, right? Okay? Get my hips loose. So, need some double D40 in some hips. You know? I got you though. All right. Cool. Sure. Yeah. No problem. So again, my name is Kevin, the mad scientist. I'm a multi-dimensional artist. Eventually, I'll be finishing my biotech degree. I'm a scientist as well. That's why chemistry, the mad scientist. Right? My business location is at 224 Eco Space, Windsor. It's located at 224 Farmington Avenue. So my business, I teach dance classes, Afrobeats that I just performed just now. I'm from Jamaica. So you already know, bless myself. So I teach dance song as well, right? So again, I welcome you to the Windsor Art location here. It's a beautiful spot. And I'm about to go because I'm tired.
Thank you, love. Give it up for chemistry, the man. Lot of energy. Like I said, chemistry, you call yourself versatile if you like. One question, how's our community poem doing?
It's coming along. Okay, just checking. That's all right. That's the educator's now. Yeah, a lot of people. That's okay. We'll keep it going. So next on the list, Adriana. Is it SoHo? Yes. Okay, Adriana is SoHo.
Thank you. I'm Adriana, and I'm going to read a poem called Harlem by Langston Hughes. Take a couple seconds there. But yes, thank you for inviting me. I'm going to give it 5, maybe 10. We'll see what happens. Okay. Well, without further ado. Okay, okay. Well, we'll keep it going. Everybody doing good? Okay, here we go, guys. So Harlem by Langston Hughes. What happened to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Or does it fester like a sore? And then run? Does it stink like rotten meat? Or does it crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or maybe it explodes.
Short, sweet, simple, to the point, right? Can't go wrong with that. I do have the sign-up sheet up here, just in case anyone is feeling expressive. This is a space for you. Please give yourselves some snacks, some pats, and some claps. I like that. Do something with that. Self-love is extremely important, and healing is extremely important. We are living in some spooky, horrific, interesting times, I would like to describe it as. Okay. So, next, Charlie. Please come bless the mic.
Thank you. So for those of you who I asked to read and you said yes, thank you. And for those of you who said, are you going to read? The answer is yes. So this poem was written in 1968, shortly after Martin Luther King was assassinated, and it was first performed as a song by Elvis Presley. There must be lights burning brighter somewhere. Got to be birds flying higher in a sky more blue. If I can dream of a better land where all my brothers walk hand in hand, tell me why, oh why can't my dream come true? There must be peace and understanding somewhere Strong winds of promise that will blow away the doubt and fear. If I can dream of a warmer sun where hope keeps shining on everyone, tell me why, oh why, oh why won't that sun appear? We're lost in a cloud with too much rain. We're trapped in a world that's troubled with pain. But as long as a man has the strength to dream, he can redeem his soul and fly. Deep in my heart, there's a trembling question. Still, I'm sure that the answer's gonna come somehow. Out there in the dark, there's a beckoning candle. And while I can think, while I can talk, while I can stand, while I can walk, while I can dream, oh please, let my dream come true right now.
Charlie, thank you so much, Charlie. And not to put people on the spot, but Charlie and Cassie, beautiful. Was that planned with the seeds? Just saying. I like that. Next up, Thorn Malik. Please come down here. We'll just need to put them on to get set up, okay?
What's up, y'all? How are we doing today? My name is Thorn Malik. I'm a rapper and producer. I'm just gonna play one song for you guys tonight, something I've been working on for a little while. Just a song that I wrote about just the changes I've been going through in life and thinking back to like my upbringing and things of that sort. Just channeling that into some newer music that I'm working on. So this song is called Days Like This. Can you hear me over that?
On days like this, we used to take a long way, take a long way. We used to take a long way home.
Yeah. Listen. Alright, so I was just a kid in Millpond Village who never used to fit and didn't get along with Jason and Dylan. Me and bro was just the popos in a school full of youngsters and krillins, but felt more common in the prophecy living. My mama chasing the bottle, trying to get away from the trauma she been through. Being honest, she got a lot to process. Being an orphan, she ain't grow up with a lot of options. Checking stuff she managed to afford. We was living checking, stretching out of pocket. Necessities, simple bare necessities. Been worried about my branding and my legacy. I can't pick the phone up even though it's sitting next to me, but I'll still find the time to put that T in those parentheses. Said I'm not the kid I used to be, but what I'm learning is that loving with no limits ain't what leads to people using me. Usually they celebrate people for being human. They told me it takes a village. I've been building my community. Practice makes perfect. I've been living and learning. Look, I was given this gift and gathered the vision, turned it into a purpose. All this hard work and stuff and finally starting to feel like it's working. And as a testament, I'll finish this verse. Listen,
When I was just a kid, on days like this, we used to take a long way home. My mama taught me growing up, that's all I know. In these days, I'm just trying to make it last. Got me out here thinking back home. We used to take a long way, take a long way, take a long way home. My days like this, we used to take a long way, take a long way. We used to take a long way home.
listen, my family means a lot to me since back when it was leftovers from Thanksgiving and I was up in collard greens. I wonder if my nana still play lotto, that's her form of numerology. She say call me Marvin, that would mean a lot to me. I could make a list of the people I owe apologies, but I should probably start with me. Find some time to talk to y'all. I don't know what I'm supposed to say whenever people say they're proud of me. Maybe one day y'all can show I'm just trying to make it last. Got me out here thinking back on when we used to take a long way. Take a long way, take a long way. Home, my days like this, we used to take a long way. Take a long way, we used to take a long way home. When I was just a kid, I had to hold my own. On days like this, we used to take a long way home. My mama taught me, don't give up, that's all I know. In these days, I'm just trying to make it last. Got me out here thinking back on when we used to take a long way. Take a long way, take a long way home. On days like this, we used to take a long way. Take a long way, we used to take a long way home.
I always tell young people, please do not just listen to the music. Can we listen to the message too? Right? What are people saying? Right? What's the substance? So, Thornley, we appreciate you. And can we give some snaps and claps for the 50th anniversary of hip hop? Please, have to acknowledge that. Next up, a phenomenal artist, an educator, an overall bad you know what. Ryan Parker! Come on down and let's go, boys!
I guess I'm chasing another dream again. Connected with my team and now I'm feeling like I'm me again. I got dirty, rinsed off, feeling clean again. Haters keep looking, but I'm focused. I ain't seeing them. I know my worth in this church that I'm preaching in. I'm nothing like Shel Sandberg, but I keep on leaning in. I drew a thick line quick between peace and sin. Words made of flame, I spit the heat that keeps seeping in. The rest of y'all are just zombies steady sleeping in. I dream with eyes wide so I could see success creeping in. I saw the soldiers in the field and gave them each a pen. Said to write a poem and take a breath until you breathe again. These mama rappers need to learn how to speak again. And no, I'm not hating, just teaching. Hope I'm reaching them. My tongue's the drum inside this poem, making that beat again. Semantics be organic, it's that whole food I'm feeding them. My mama said to tell the truth, make them believe again. My people paved the path. One day my baby girl will lead the men. Fist up for my people getting free again. Never stop fighting, even if it means I bleed for them. Summon the dragon to pick me up on its wings again and fly above the world, dropping love upon the scene again. Woo! I'm trying to recenter my chi again. Locked inside a box until I learn to turn the key again. Opened it up and breathed deep and let the freedom in. Succeeded to proceed to find peace and harmony again. And now I'm feeling like myself again. Back to good habits, physical and mental health again. Loving life, playing cards that I was dealt again. Invested in myself, so now I'm well and I can help my friends. Invested in myself, so now I'm well and I can help my friends. Invested in myself, so now I'm well and I can help my friends. I wrote your favorite poem, darling, so we could rock it all night long, darling. I wrote your favorite poem, darling, so we could rock it all night long, darling. I used to touch her with a candy cane lick, sweet like watermelon juice with the splash of wax. I press my chest up against her back, her breath in left hand warm. We spoke in calypso jive, live in lovemaking with love taking time, minds flown parallel with thought. She reached out and touched me with tickle me fingers and squinted at the shade. A lick of light, making her brave to lean in, to look out, to see the man with a question mark on his face, the barking dog, the junkyard car, the pace. thrown off by caterpillar time. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Time is on my side. What is the meaning of life? I guess it is to live it. And I don't mean to be vague, so let me get specific. Society tries to shut you inside a mental box, leaving you strapped, got you trapped with invisible locks. Not to mention they threaten with those physical locks. Ban books, protect guns is the stuff that we got. It makes sense, but the sense won't change because white supremacy will kill to keep its power in play. I meditate at least an hour a day, speak to the spirits of my ancestors, shower and pray. Adjust my crown on the ground that they paved. I recognize that I'm responsible for making it stay. You might have loved me last week, but you can hate me today. You probably got a good reason. I ain't here to complain. Far from perfect. Lord knows I made a lot of mistakes. I try to learn from everyone. I'm still learning today, yeah. I'm still learning my way. The work of listening is the only way to earn what I say. My black elders lit the flame that's still burning today. I centered wellness in the game since I learned how to play. Yo, my advantage is loving myself to the extent that I don't need it from nobody else. It's just extra if I get it from somebody else. I fill my own cup first because I know what I'm worth and I'll dig it. My soul moves at the pace of the earth. It's hard to heal from the wounds if you ain't facing the hurt. But if you recognize the truth in the space that you hurt, you can run to being whole and start chasing your worth. Now you can never win the battle of fighting the truth. And if the truth is that you're broken in spite of the truth, you could still shine your light inside of the truth. Even a broken crayon colors the brightest of hues. Even a broken crayon colors the brightest of hues. Even a broken crayon colors the brightest of hues. Dag nabbit, I'm back at it with black magic. Black beauty, not black tragic, I can't have it. I'm on some joy stuff, making a lot of noise stuff, raising my black fishes as much as I raise my voice stuff. Holy matrimony got these homies acting phony. If you don't want me in the space, then stop asking for me. The whole truth's only part of the soul's proof. Spit fire like I'm a dragon, be burning your whole roof up. And y'all don't even want to know the half of it. Been in the basement trying to move up where the attic is. My whole self, nothing else with no additives. Organic honesty sinking these liars' battleships. White people asking questions just so they could talk. I know my answers don't matter. Y'all keep on laying chalk. I ain't sending light no more, homie. I'm sending dark. Without the beauty of blackness, no one could see a spark. Without the beauty of blackness, no one could see a spark. Without the beauty of blackness. Thank you.
Ryan Parker. Ooh, we're getting blessed today.
Can we give some snaps and some claps to everyone that came up here and blessed the mic and left class? Some valuable folks in the room. Wow. So, 5-minute intermission? Is that okay? Okay. There's food in the back. There's a bathroom around the corner. Please talk to each other. Work. And we'll be back in about 5 minutes, if that's okay, to have our keynote speaker. Okay? Thank you. My name is Versus Alpha. So, we have two people that come on to share with you before our keynote speaker. The first person I'd like to call, Wanda Salad! Come on down! It's that time! Sure, please do. That's what it's here for. Okay.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the Windsor Arts Center. My name is Wanda Selden. I'm on the curatorial team with Trey. And so we welcome you here. And for any budding artists, I'm going to put a plug in for the members only show. If we have any visual artists, whether it's sculpture, mixed media, painting, the members only show is coming up. You can put up to 2 pieces in that show, and if you're a member. And so the Volunteer back there, we'll take your membership. How's that? How many quilters do we have here? Any quilters? Quilting is an experience that you have to be part of. Several years ago, Janetta Miller, master quilter, and I participated in a program called Community Threads, where we worked with women around the 16 communities in Hartford around quilting. And it was quite an experience. We worked with women from Bosnia, women from Puerto Rico that could not speak English. And there's something about women coming together and being able to quilt. From that experience, it was so moving for me until I wrote this poem. And it's called Women of the Cloth Quilting Circle. We will tell stories that will weave a tapestry of life's experiences when we gather together. We are rich in the wisdom that surrounds us. We will learn to be childlike in our ideas and will learn to laugh at ourselves and with each other. What will I bring to the quilting circle today? I will bring a patch of friendship. I will bring a thread of respect. I will bring yards of encouragement. I will bring old ideas and new solutions. I will lend a listening ear. I will nourish you. You will uplift me. We have common threads that bind us to this quilt. I will cry when you cry. I will drop my needle and hug you because I felt your pain today. Even though you quilted in silence. I heard you say you were looking for, I found it for you. Can you use this? Don't worry, my feelings won't be hurt if you can't, for you and I have common threads that bind us to this quilt. Sometimes when we gather together, our circle is small and some days large. I miss you when you are not here because we have common threads that bind us to this quilt. We are unique and wonderfully made by God. He has brought us together for a reason, sharing the fabric we are each made of. Each of us with common threads that bind us to this quilt. Thank you.
Give it up for Wanda Selden. Beautiful. Got me thinking about quilts totally different. Next up before our keynote speaker, Toot. Toot. I'm going out the mic. Yes, sure. One moment, just gotta get set up.
Today I'm going to do a song that I wrote was like when I got saved. So. It's called Breaking News. Breaking news, all I need is you. Got breaking news, all I need is you. Yahweh, hey. Breaking news, all I need is you. Got breaking news. breaking news, all I need is you. God, breaking news, all I need is you. Yahweh, hey, breaking news, yeah, I had to go through a storm. I had to walk through some bushes full of plenty thorns. I got scars that I never will forget, but I had to go through something just to get to this. Hey, lighting on me down, I almost went insane. I turned my way to God, and yeah, I praise His name. He made me a promise, and His word will never change. Walk in faith, then let the blessing sing. Hey, day by day, yeah, I'm taking the step. I got my angels guiding me, and they giving me help. They paving me a perfect path, and they opening doors. I got God on my side, I don't need nothing more. He's the light to my rainy day. He always comes in perfect time to take the pain away. That's my Lord, that's my Savior, that's Yahweh. If you having rough days, call on my friend and pray, yeah. Breaking news, all I need is you, God. Breaking news, all I need is you, Yahweh. Hey. Breaking news, all I need is you, God. Breaking news, all I need is you, Yahweh. Hey. Breaking news, all I need is you, God. Breaking news, all I need is you, Yahweh. Hey. Breaking news, all I need is you, God. Breaking news, all I need is you, Yahweh. Hey. Breaking news, yeah, I'm better than ever. I got God on my side and I'm with Him forever. I'm learning His way and I'm walking by faith. He connected me with people that will put me in place. God saved very, very best day of my life, taught that God the same day. That was so amazing, so powerful, I can say He really is that God. I love Him more every day. He fought battles for me that I ain't have to fight, so I lay my head down and I feel good every night. You know He's the one and you know He's the truth. You put your trust in Him and He put His love in you. I pray every night, keep my soul holding tight. Life without you, I couldn't imagine what it's like. I love You so much and our bond is so tight. You believe in my Lord and He will fight your fight. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. I wink, and that's who I choose, yeah. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. I'm with God forever, and that's who I choose. 2 times. Thank you.
For two. Beautiful, beautiful. So again, can we give some snaps and some claps to all the folks who blessed this night, right? A real versatile red holiday folks. Beautiful. So last but not least, I'd like to call up your keynote speaker, the beautiful, the wonderful pastor and poet, Monique Sanders. Please bless these people. And I just want to point out our colors. You know, when you're in sync with people, we never speak together. That's right, our colors. They always work, so we should together. And Cassie and I have the same colors as well, and Charlie as well. So beautiful. Here you go.
Well, thank you. I'm actually not a pastor.
Oh, my bad.
I'm Reverend. Yeah, you know. And young lady, what was the name? Toot? Oh, I like that. We need to talk. I need to get with you. I got some ideas. In church, before you preach, you have the hymn of preparation. Well, I thank you for my hymn of preparation. That's very fitting. Those of you who know me and have heard me preach, I am all things hip hop and Proverbs 31. So, you need, sometimes I heard a preacher say you need a little hood with your holy. Thank you, I appreciate that. So I won't be before you long. Now I really sound like church. I won't be before you long, but I just have a couple of things that I'd like to say. And then I guess I'll perform if it comes to my head. That part, right? That part, if it comes to my head. And so this afternoon, I want to talk to you about the spirit of Juneteenth. And I just want to say, sometimes we hear different things that happen, right? So you hear things on the news, and then you'll see like a poem about it. You'll see a television show, or you see something, and people who write, poets, will write a poem about it, or, it'll be something to inspire us, and we'll jot something down. Well, I think when you talk about history, and you talk about Juneteenth, and you talk about just the celebration of being Black, right? Because let's be clear, Juneteenth is a celebration of being Black. People have tried to turn it into other things. I am one of these people who fervently believe that you cannot usurp someone else's culture. You become a culture vulture. You can celebrate other people's culture, right? That's important to do. But, you know, all of these sales for Cinco de Mayo, that's not a holiday for everybody. You know, you have different things for Memorial Day weekend. Well, Memorial Day weekend is to observe Memorial Day. It's to memorialize those who have fought for us. So that's what you should do, not sell cars, not have a cookout, not, you know, do all these things. And sometimes what happens is we commercialize the things that are important. And so I don't want to do that. I don't want to make it a commercial for why we should celebrate Juneteenth. We all know why we should celebrate Juneteenth. But why does it need to have a voice, right? Because why are we having a Juneteenth poetry slam? Well, I'll tell you why. Because if this part of history could be told in such a way that the chains of the past, those shackles that physically bound us together against our will, could, in the telling, become spiritual links that willingly bind us together now and into the future, then that painful middle passage could become, ironically, a positive connecting line to all of us, whether living inside or outside of the continent of Africa. That is a quote from Tom Feelings. And I think that that is the true spirit of Juneteenth, right? It's not just about going and, you know, listening to observances on the town green or finding out different things about why Juneteenth even exists. It's celebrating the fact that days like Juneteenth, the sentiment behind Juneteenth, when you know the history of that, that should be the thing that connects us all. The fact that there were people who were given freedom. It was declared that they would be free, yet they were not freed. And I would argue, right, as a Black woman today, we still ain't free. However, we have some semblance of freedom. And so we need to be connected on that front. You know, and I think it's very important for us to understand that what does that is often poetry. Poetry gives voice to the voiceless. It makes the invisible visible. It shows things that are not shown. It thinks the unthinkable. Poets like Jupiter Hammond, Lucy Terry, and Phyllis Wheatley were the first known Black poets. The poems they wrote were more narrative and reflective. Poems like On Imagination. Imagination. Who can sing thy force, or who can describe the swiftness of thy course? Soaring through air to find the bright abode, the imperial palace of the thundering God. We on thy pinions can surpass the wind and leave the rolling universe behind. From star to star, the mental optics rove, measures the skies, the range, the realms above. Then in one view, we grasp the mighty whole, or with new worlds, amaze the unbound soul. Imagination by Phyllis Wheatley. Poems like this gave birth and inspiration to other 19th century Black poets, including George Moses Horton, Francis E.W. Harper, James Madison Bell, James Whitfield. Their poetry was more political. They wrote against slavery and other wrongs that were perpetrated by society. I'm going to read you an excerpt from Horton's poem. Horton wrote, "Alas, and am I born for this? To wear this slavish chain, deprived of all created bliss through hardship, toil, and pain? How long have I in bondage been, and languished to be free? Alas, I must still complain, deprived of liberty. O heaven, and is there no relief the silent grave, to soothe the pain, to quell the grief and anguish of a slave? Come liberty, thou cheerful sound, roll through my ravished ears. Come, let my grief in joys be drowned, and drive away my fears. Say unto foul oppression, cease, ye tyrants rage no more, and let the joyful trump of peace Now bid the vassal soar. Soar on the pinions of that dove, which long has cooed for thee, and breathed her notes from Africa's grove, the sound of liberty. O liberty, thy golden prize, so often sought by blood, we crave thy sacred sun to rise, the gift of nature's God. Bid slavery hide her haggard face, and barbarism fly. I scorn to see sad disgrace in which enslaved I lie. Dear liberty, upon thy breast I languish with respire. I languish to respire, and like the swan upon her nest, I to thy smiles retire. O blessed asylum, heavenly balm, unto thy boughs I flee, and in thy shades the storm shall calm with songs of liberty. This was the first poem penned with open disdain for the state of black men, black people in America. When you have someone like a Paul Laurence Dunbar or a Phyllis Wheatley who were enslaved people and who realized that to write, to speak, to give voice to what they felt, that was something that was not allowed, right? Because we weren't even allowed to read, write, we weren't allowed to have our own opinions, let alone have education about us. But to know that they found a way to voice what bothered them, to give life to their struggle. This is what poetry does for those who have no voice. It gives voice to the voiceless. Because even though they're not here to read their own poems, their poems live. Centuries later, their poems live because someone thought to write them down. Someone thought to capture that moment, to capture that feeling. And that's what this is all about. You can write all the poetry you want, but if nobody listens to it, if nobody hears it, your voice isn't being heard. You know, Ryan Parker can write a poem, and if I happen to pick up that poem and I read it, I now give him a voice, even if he didn't have one. If, you know, anybody in here were to write a poem and I was to find it on a scrap of paper and they were maybe too shy to give their voice out for everybody to hear, I then can lend my voice to their voice. In the same way, when you're celebrating Juneteenth, you are lending your voice, your heart, your passion to the passion of others who might not feel so free to be able to voice their own feelings, yeah? Then you have Dunbar, sympathy. I know what the caged bird feels, alas, when the sun is bright on the unlanded slopes, when the wind stirs soft through the springing grass, and the river flows like a stream of glass. When the first bird sings, and the first bud opens, and the faint perfume from its chalice steals, I know what the caged bird feels. When I heard this poem the very first time, I think I might have been in my teens. I might have been like 15, 16 years old. And I was like, oh, that's kind of, wow. Because I didn't have a reason for it to mean anything to me. It wasn't until, just recently, probably during the pandemic, the things that happened with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, all of these things, that I found myself going through old journals. When I was about 17, I was given a journal by someone who is now a wonderful pastor at a church called Redeemers in Plainfield, the Reverend Dr. Shelley Best, right? Yeah. Big her up, because she's dope. She gave me a journal and told me, write in it, copy things, pasted it, draw pictures, do whatever. And, I found myself with nothing else to do but sit in the house during the pandemic, going through old bins that my mom had been asking me to go through forever. And those of you who know my mother know that that was probably a request that she had for me for many years. Could you clean your stuff? And so going through these bins, I found my journal. And I found this poem scribbled. And I was like, where did this come from? And then as I read it again as an adult, I realized there is sympathy for the caged bird. I feel sorry for people who don't have a voice. I feel sorry for people who don't know that they're free, right? Because free isn't only in your physical body being free, it's in your mind being free. People who feel like they can't voice their opinion. People who, right, dare I say the word ally. You have people in this movement, the Black Lives Matter movement, other movements, the Me Too movement, who claim to be allies, but they don't really know what to do. And so they say things like, I'm an ally, which is great. And that's wonderful, we celebrate that. But they don't feel like they have a voice. And so when I think of this poem, I think of that. I think of the people who really want to do more, but their own economic status, where they fit in their community, lends for them to kind of sit back and just be an ally in word and not in deed. So I say to all of you who may be feeling that way sitting in this room, if there are things that you really wish that you could do, if you wish you had a bigger voice, a louder voice, there are ways that you can give your voice more meaning, that you can be more of an ally in just word. You can actually act. Coming to events like this, obviously, but also sharing the sentiment that no, this is not a day to have a cookout. This is not a day for, sadly enough, I have to be honest, I'm very transparent, communities who do not love all things Black to have Juneteenth celebrations, and there are some, let's just be real, there are some. They have Juneteenth celebrations, but none of the people who speak represent Juneteenth, right? And I know that this is a little odd, right? Because people are like, well, that wasn't what I was expecting. Welcome to Mo's world. This is who I am and how I talk. I think it's important for people to understand that through poetry, you can voice your deepest, most passionate feelings without, with a semblance of anonymity, right? Because I can write something just like when we're writing the community poem. Some of you may have written something down that you're very passionate about. I wasn't even here to hear the topic because I was rushing in from Worcester. But I'm sure some of you, I won't say but, I'll say however, I'm sure some of you may have written something that you're very passionate about and you can't voice that. But when Versatile reads it, you'll be heard. Or Ryan or whoever's, I'm gonna read it. Cool. When I read it, you're giving voice to that feeling. Right. And then you have, that was nice to know. Thank you kindly. I like that. Yeah, just throw me there. That's all right. I catch it. Thank you. So then you have people like Langston Hughes, one of my favorites, the Negro Mother, out of the darkness, the ignorance, the night. Lift high the banner out of the dust. Stand like free men supporting my trust. Believe in the right. Let none push you back. Remember the whip and the slaver's track. Remember how the strong in struggle and strife still bar you the way and deny you life. But march ever forward, breaking down bars. I'm gonna read that part again because that's my favorite line. But march ever forward, breaking down bars. Look ever upward to the sun and the stars. Oh, my dark children, may my dreams and my prayers impel you forever up the great stairs. For I will be with you till no white brother dares keep down the children of the Negro mother. Yeah, that's one of my favorites. There are times when poetry can lift your spirits. And although some would read it and think that that's very dark, for a little brown girl like me growing up in Windsor in a time where at Oliver Ellsworth, when I went to school, there was like myself, my sister, and maybe 2 other families that looked like us. And so me being who I am and being ultra Black, being very, very much pro-Black, very, very much Afrocentric, and having a Nigerian father, we were often the Black History Month presentation. We were, what else were we? We were anything Black history. We were anything culture. We were ethnic day. We were everything. I had teachers ask my mom, could they borrow her clothing? Because she had, her traditional clothing. Oh, can I borrow your clothes? No. Can you be nice to my child? So these are the things that people, when I say that people are usurping culture, that does happen, right? And so there's a difference between celebrating someone's culture, loving someone's culture, appreciating someone's culture, and then usurping their culture. I won't even call it, what's the other way they say it, cultural, yeah, a cultural appropriation. Yeah. I don't even like that term, right? Because what is appropriate? That would, to me, what that means is what you're doing to celebrate my culture is appropriate. And sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. And I think there's a fine line. And I think, again, I bring it back still to poetry, right? We hear people take rap lyrics. If you look at television, if you look at commercials, a lot of times when they're trying to sell something, what do they have out there? Hip hop. They think that's the way that sells something. Sell it for what it is. You don't always have to steal somebody's culture in order to sell the thing. You don't always have to borrow somebody's culture or things from someone's culture to celebrate them. And I think when we do that, we hide the beauty of that culture and of that thing. Which brings me to Maya Angelou. Pretty women wonder why. Let me start over because that is not what it says. Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please. And to a man, the fellows stand or fall down to their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth. It's the swing in my waist and the joy of my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say it's the arch of my back, the sun in my smile, the ride of my breast, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about. I have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say, it's the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need of my care. 'Cause I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. And so, right, when you're asked to be a keynote, you're like, what do I talk about? So I went back, right, to bring you to today, because oftentimes I'm asked to stand before rows of people, this one, to stand on the green, to do a myriad of things by one great man who always gave my words light and room. Judge. And so not as to get emotional nor bring down spirits, I just need to say that when you see someone who is artistically gifted in any way, you should celebrate them. And Judge definitely did that. He brought art and music and sound and life to poets like myself who were only known at their churches, right? My church loves me. That's where my gift started, it was in my church. But for someone like myself, I don't write. I'm not gonna publish a book. Well, I might, but it won't be a book of poetry because I don't write my poetry. But he saw something in me that made me special to this community. And so when Cassie was like, oh, do you wanna be the keynote? But yes. There's no, yes, I don't even know what I'm gonna say. I've never done anything like this, but absolutely I wanna be a keynote just to pay homage to such a great man. And then also Juneteenth, duh. So when you hear these poems, when you think of things like Phenomenal Woman, the power, just the black female empowerment in that, right? Because there are a lot of times that people do look at me. I have people who ask me, can I touch your hair? No. Why you need to touch my hair? Can I touch yours? Your hair grows out of your head just like mine does. It's the same thing. People who say things like, you're really pretty for a black girl. Well, dang, I hope I'm pretty for anybody, but thank you. So these are the things that happen. Or people say, we need a black poet. No, you just need a poet. You just need a poet, and sometimes these things happen. And so this may sound a little controversial, what I'm saying, and please don't think that I'm not a lover of everybody, because I truly am. But it goes for the occasion. This is Juneteenth. This is a celebration for black people, for people who were enslaved, who did not know that they were free. It was hidden from them for 2 whole years. And then, even after they found out that they were free, there were other places that were still enslaved. There are places today where slavery looks different, but guess what? It's still slavery. When you hush somebody and tell them they can't use what some people call slang, but now has been recoined as African American vernacular English, which, by the way, is a class taught at Harvard. Right? So when I'm in school, and those of you who are parents, grandparents, those of you who are educators in the room, when you hear children use their own language, let them. It's a dialect, let them. We don't stop people from other cultures from using their language. We don't stop them from speaking. We give their words light and love. The same should happen with all children. The same should happen regardless what color they are, where they're from, even sometimes what they're saying, because there's power in that. These artists, these writers, these poets needed a platform. Words need to live. You can, research, I don't even know, but there's how many books in the world, right? There's the greats, right? The literary greats. We're talking Great Expectations, all of these things. Nobody's like, no, I don't like the way they sang that. It's not good. I don't like the way they wrote that. We're not doing that. However, when you have somebody who has a platform that happens to be a little darker hue, maybe their hair is not as straight, we say, oh, I can't believe they said that. Oh my gosh, why would they do that? Because it's freedom. Because they can talk about what they want to talk about. Because those are the things that are important. So, I say all that to say, poets have shaped me, and they have been my lighthouse. Poets like Angela, poets like Hughes, Bell Hooks, so many others who have made me realize that my blackness is not a weapon. My blackness is not anything that I need to hide away. I don't need to be ashamed of my voice. My voice is powerful. These people have kept me feeling like my voice matters. My black voice is important. And my black female voice is everything. And so, to that, I don't even know how much time I have. I feel like I've been talking forever. I hope I'm not boring. But I know I'm supposed to perform something. I don't know. I have nothing in my head right now. I have come off of a 3-day, very, very long and tumultuous church conference. And my brain is there. But if somebody would just give me a word, and I mean that, like give me a word. Love? Bet. All right, so those of you who don't know what I do, I just make stuff out of my head. I don't do it actually. I cannot take credit for it. I definitely believe that that is divine. I just drop something in my spirit and I open my mouth. I'm an instrument. It's like I'm a flute and he breathes into me and words come out. So, love. Give me another one. Love and what? Love and art. Love and art.
The secret to being woman's art is.
Oh, art is? Oh, bet. All right, fire. We got this. Okay. Love and art is. Cool. All right. Art is love. Art is desire. Art is passion. Art is blood flowing through your bodies that reaches the fingertips, that picks up a brush, a pen, a pencil, a piece of clay, that molds it and grasps it and turns it into whatever you may. Love is art, is love, is joy. Art is the thing that makes you look at things in a different way, that makes you imagine a place that you want to go or be, or just stillness that that you can sit and reflect in what is you. Art is, art will be, art has become whatever you want it to be, but especially love.
Reverend, sorry for that. Reverend, you stand is beautiful, right? Again, give yourselves some snaps, some pats, and some claps. So, the community poem is art is. Here's the challenge I'll say with these poems, which are the best poems in the world. Reading other people's handwriting.
Pays to be an educator.
Yes, so you just do your best with it, skip a line. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 pages, okay?
Well, all right.
And what I will do with this, what I normally do with this, is I take them home, I type them, and then we send them out. So hopefully people put their emails down on the sign-up sheet, okay? So you can check it out. And just a quick note, I was the keynote speaker for the Connecticut Association of Schools in April, and it was for the Arts, High School Outstanding Arts Awards, and I did an Art Is community poem of over 1,000 people. I typed it at home, it was 10 pages long. So, this will be beautiful for us, our version of Arts Is. Fair enough. And afterwards, please do not leave. For those of you who would like, please join us for a group picture, okay? And then we're all set, all right? Thank you.
All right. Art is, my God, okay. A community poem by the Windsor community. Yes. All right. Art is, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, art was everywhere. It was bold and beautiful. The beauty on the outside hides the depth of emotions, which I am not bold enough to put on display. Oh, all right. Because I'm that age. Paint on my hands, floor, or canvas. Something gliding through the air. My art is my art, my voice, my words, unspoken heard. The sweet company of art. Beauty belies us all. Open your eyes and take it all in. Let your soul be the writer. Let love flow, pen to paper. Art lives in all of us. Let the beauty out to share with all. Capture each moment of beauty and hold them in your heart. To light your way through the dark, the light in art is but a piece of the stars. Ooh, the light in art is but a piece of the stars. The night sky is where I can find my soul, rest and peace. All right now. Live life unapologetically. Art is where I can truly be me. Art is my soul. Art is extraordinary. Art is there when no one else is. It comforts me. Art is colorful. Art is me, expressing my thoughts. Art is expressing oneself through ideas. Art is the sunshine after a rainstorm. Art is the sunshine after a rainstorm. The springboard to jump out of me into you immediately, externally. Art is my daughter, her dance, her voice, each breath a poem. Art is the quiet hike, swallows swooping over the Farmington River. Art is poems spilling out of slick lips of tongues and the echoes of ancestors in the belly of drums. Art is formless, but takes on every form. Art is expressions of color and feeling spilling over anyone who will see, anyone who will hear. Art is you. Art is me. Art is supreme. Art is music. Art is the embodied passions of individuals shaping with the world. Oh, sharing with the world, sorry. Art is expression. Art is this moment, this family, this brokenness, this bitterness. Art is the strength to tell the truth about this journey and the power to keep creating, always. Art is life, creativity, a fluid flow, forever forming and reforming as we experience. Art is life, love, and creativity. Art is strong, art is colorful. Art is a way to say what you have what is on your mind. Art is a way to invite us. Why art? Because art is. Art is the language of the soul, a language spoken in words bigger than our tongues can convey. Art is an expression of divinity and language of creator consciousness. Art is how I see my world, his world, her world, their world, and knows our world is how we see it or perceive it. Yeah, our world is how we see it or perceive it. Art is connecting, learning, young, loving, and healing. Art is an opportunity to just be. Art is a community affair. Community is a family affair. Art transforms the soul. Art changes the world. Art is why I'm here. I am art. And this galaxy of being, of creative existence and appreciation of beauty and boldness is now absorbing all of us here and now. Art is.
Thank you. Here's some snaps, some pats, some claps. My name is Versatile Poetic. In an honor of being your MC, I want to thank Win TV, the Hartford Foundation, the Town of Windsor, the Windsor Art Center, First Church, and the American Rescue Fund. That's how you got those lovely sandwiches. Thank you very much. Please, if you'd like, no pressure, come on up here and join me for a group photo. Other than that, thank you, beautiful people. Enjoy your evening.